Friends, it is Tuesday, May 9, 2023, and I want to read you a single verse from Philippians. It's verse 5. We're studying Philippians and the subject of joy. This week, remembering joy. Paul has said that every time he prays, he remembers his friends at Philippi with joy. And then he gives the reason for your partnership in the gospel from the first day until now. This is the word of the Lord. I've got a kind of a funny question. If you were a river, how many tributaries do you have? You know, I have this mental picture of the Colorado mountains and the snow melt in the spring and the way that flows down those majestic mountains that are full of resorts and inaccessible areas full of snow. And as that snow melts, it flows down in the form of water into creeks and streams that then flow into rivers, mighty rivers like the Colorado, that ultimately make life in the desert as well as much agriculture in places like California possible. All those little streams and creeks or creeks, depending which part of the country you're in, are tributaries of the big rivers. And if you were a river of joy, how many tributaries do you have? Paul had this practice of remembering his friends at Philippi, and specifically he remembered in their sharing in the gospel. And so he remembered, as I mentioned yesterday, the founding moment of the church where they met by the river, and Lydia and her family were baptized, and they began this little community. And undoubtedly, over the 10 years, they would remember the times when other people were baptized and joined the church. They would remember some of the persecution they went through. For in Acts 16, we see that Paul himself was jailed because he healed somebody who was a kind of a prophetess or soothsayer who was owned as a slave by people who profited from her ability to predict the future. And Paul healed her of possession, which took away her ability to predict the future. And they, in effect, tried to sue Paul, accused Paul of encouraging belief in foreign gods and of ruining their business, and got him jailed. And then later on, the doors of the jail were miraculously opened, and Paul didn't leave, which relieved the jailkeeper because he would have been held to account had Paul escaped. And the jailkeeper was so moved to see Paul's generosity in thinking of him, and also see the miracle of the open doors, that he himself came to faith. So these were all interesting memories, good and bad, that they could share. But all of this was a sharing in the gospel, and remembering that the way God had been with them in the difficult times and in the wonderful times of growth filled him with joy. Remembering the way God is active in other people breaks our kind of intrinsic self-absorption. We're intrinsically more aware of our own feelings and our own ambitions and our own ideas and our own dreams and how people are reacting to us. And so remembering others and their faith stories is a way of kind of breaking that way in which we can be trapped within ourselves, that intrinsic narcissism, you might call it. And it allows the grace in other people's lives, the experience of other people, to become tributaries that flow into our own hearts and souls. We become a river of joy with many, many tributaries. Let's take a moment and pray. Gracious God, you want us to become surging rivers of joy. Help us to be fed and encouraged by your work in the people around us. Amen.